Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today, gonna be a match between Shuttle and Ample here on Fighting Spirit. Top right, we've got Shuttle, wearing yellow today. And in the bottom right, it is Ample, our purple Terran player. This replay was sent to me by RJB of RJB TV fame. Go ahead and check him out. If you like fastest map, I think you do. Yeah, go ahead and tell them that Falcon sent you. Leave a comment, leave a subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into this. Gonna be excellent, Z. Wow, TVP. Alright, so nobody scouting early, nobody doing a proxy strategy here on Fighting Spirit. And we're gonna use this one to build a supply depot. At about 9 supply. Everything is super on time, as is to be expected for these players. 400 APM from both. Shuttle's playing a little bit faster, but doesn't make a difference when you're at 400 APM, right? If you're 400 APM, you're 400 APM. Gateway coming up as well. And it is barracks timing. Unless it's command center first, but man, going CC first against Shuttle, oof. That would be nerve-wracking if it was me. Maybe it's not for Ample, but there you go. Barracks coming up. I know it's a 4-player map, but if you go command center first and Shuttle scouts the right direction, like a Zealot and a Dragoon could super end your day. We've seen it before from Bisu. And Shuttle is just as terrifying, in my personal opinion. So SCV scouting out, does want to see what is going on in Shuttle's neck of the woods. Are you going left or going up, buddy? Ah, Ample scouting the wrong direction. Shuttle not even bothering. This might be the first TVP I've cast in a while where the Protoss doesn't even bother to scout. I mean, he is now, but this is a little bit late. I mean, if you're worried about a proxy or something, I guess we did go Gateway Cybercore. It wasn't a gating to expand, which again, in PvT, it's pretty darn standard. Just to get your factory up, just to get your cybernetics core up before you expand, because you are worried about Dragoon pressure, you're worried about tank pressure, and if you have an expansion too early, you might not have enough to defend against that early push, and then you're dead. So probe scouting the wrong way, SCV scouting the wrong way, both players kind of having a bit of some rubbish luck here when it comes to scouting direction on Fighting Spirit. Singularity charge getting started immediately for Le Shuttle. Dragoon is on the way, and now we're going to see, okay, so you're scouting this direction. I wonder if Ample's going to bother scout. He's going to do it. He's like, it's probably, this is not where Shuttle is. That could just be a super late scout, though. So we got to check. We got to make sure, and it's the same thing here from Shuttle. Got to check that bottom left. So we're going to abort our scouting strategies based on running into another scout out in the middle of the map, right? So bunker coming up. Got a couple Marines here just because we're not going straight into vultures or anything yet. So a couple Marines and a bunker should be just fine. Dragoon is going to chase the SCV around, but it takes about 8 hits to take down that SCV, so good luck. Good luck with that one, Mr. President. Also, that tree. Ooh, I thought the tree pushed the Dragoon far enough back that wouldn't be able to get another hit off there, but yeah, the SCV should make it home in time. Might take one more shot, but into the safety of the bunker protected area. Dragoon says, fine, can't really come in here until Singularity charge is done. Expansion on the way from Shuttle, and an expansion on the way from Ample. Alrighty then. Working on a robotics facility. Have I cast many games with Ample in a PvT? I feel like I've cast a bunch of ZVTs with him, where he's really good. I think he took down Queen in one of the matches that I cast, so Ample is serious business. If you can take Queen down with your TVZ is pretty good. Now, whether he can do it against Shuttle is another question altogether. Oh, this is bad micro, actually. Shuttle a little bit late and gonna lose the Dragoon, but the tank goes down. So, trading a Dragoon for a siege tank. That's probably a good trade for Shuttle, actually, because look, now you have to repair to deal with the Dragoon instead of using a tank to deal with the Dragoon. Spider Mine's getting researched first. We are also... SCV scouting up here. Also working on Spider Mines. SCV really just wants... sees the observatory opening. Says, okay, so gonna have detection here. Ooh, probe gets the kill. Gonna have detection against my spider mines, so that's good to know, but at least it's not a fast robo bay, in which case it would be reaver drops, and I hate reaver drops, because holy smokes, Shuttle's good with reaver drops. He loves them shuttles. Starport, under construction, about 60% complete there for our Terran player. Protoss Shuttle continuing to smash the front door, but not going crazy with it. Sometimes we see Protoss get, 4, 5, 6 Dragoons up here firing away, and not this time, though. Another siege tank comes out, should be able to push these away temporarily. Although, man, look at that jump in there. Didn't lose any HP either. Just the shields going down, and now we got to pull more SCVs. And, oh, but the repair! The repair! That was beautiful. The repair means that the Dragoons take shots without actually killing the tank, which is super important here. Repair, though. You got to repair, though. The SCVs will stop. There we go. Does pick up the repairing again. Production tab, we just see an observer. We see more Dragoons. Once again, Dragoons are the backbone of the PvT army with speed lots as part of that here, too. Tank, we're not getting siege mode, man. We are not getting siege mode today at all. So, I mean, I guess probably after Vulture movement speed, but I think that worked out for Ample okay. He lost one tank, but he killed a Dragoon. He wounded a couple of the others to make them, yeah, look at this, weaker for future engagements, which is good. And it's good if you're trying to beat somebody as good as Shuttle is. Second factory up. More tanks in production. Does he have enough resources? Not quite yet. There it is. To go for siege mode, and he gets that thing started quite immediately. Citadel of a Dune on the way. We're not surprised by this at all. Shuttle's really not giving us any surprises to speak of. This is really typical PvT stuff. And once again, you do want to out-expand the Terran traditionally. As the Vulture tries to make a run by, Spider-Mine set up at the front, but again, we have Dragoons with range, and we have Observers, so I mean, I don't know what we expect that to do exactly. Might lose one of these Dragoons, yeah, but a tank definitely goes down. Delaying the pursuit with Spider-Mines, sure, that counts for something, if that's what you're into. But actually a dropship, so the play here is a dropship. Interesting. Out of Ample. He's like, alright, you know what, if we're not going for a robotics bay, then sure, I'll go for a dropship myself. Maybe try to set a little a tank setup down here, which is why there's a pylon in this location. Observer sees it, though, right? Sees the starport, saw the dropship come out. I'm pretty sure it was in that position when that happened. Armory there, and yeah. Here we go. It's going to be two Vultures heading on in, but the Dragoons are in position because the Observer saw the dropship coming out, and this is just the most logical place to drop. So this really shouldn't accomplish a whole lot. I mean, these Vultures are going to die. And maybe, okay, they do. Couple probes go down, 3 probes go down. The probes have to block, so the Vultures can't just run out of here, but that was actually better than I expected. 40 to 39 total workers. I was saying earlier that Protoss really does want to take a 3rd base, and probably a 4th base starting around now. You just need to out-expand the Terran, because the tank count is going to increase. You're just going to have a hard time getting cost-efficient trades versus the mech. And the more bases you have, the more income you have, the more you can afford to make bad trades and still win. It's the Zerg strategy, just in the form of Protoss. So, we'll see. I'm really surprised that he's not doing that yet. Like, there's Spider-Mine checking for it at the 12 o'clock, which is the more logical choice of location for a Shuttle to go. Is getting a very fast Arbiter Tribunal. I guess, not very fast. It is fairly standard. You go 2-base Arbiter Tribunal. He's getting some DTs in here as well. I think he's waiting for them to pop out of these gateways and put them into this shuttle. How's our detection looking, friends? We've got a ComSat station. We have another ComSat station. We have an engineering bay. Nope, no engineering bay yet. Just more and more factories. Science facility up. So maybe a quick science vessel would help here immensely. It's not even a maybe thing. It would. It would help a lot for him to start a science vessel, and he is. Okay, excellent. That's great news. Dropship, no, it might just need to unload. Nope, not going to do it. And it works out. The Dragoons stopped chasing, mostly because they were outrunning their observer. They didn't want to run into a couple spider mines. That would be a nice little trap to set up. So this is a problem for Shuttle. He's planning on these DTs getting some work done. And there's a science vessel very close to being done, and it should be ready to go by the time this attack, this double dropship, double shuttle from Shuttle attack comes in here. So Ample playing extremely well, and he's going to have the tools to deal with these DTs, and everything's fine. So he is scanning. What's he scanning? He scans the natural. sees people moving out and says, okay, all right, let's get some things set up here. Let's get a missile turret up. Love that. So, and this is the third base that's already done for Ample when Shuttles isn't even anywhere near under construction yet. Dude, Ample's playing very, very, very good Terran right now. And this is where the Dragoons need to make some trades, right? They basically need to kill some siege tanks. Will they lose some Dragoons in the process? Yes, that is a guarantee. I don't think there are enough tanks to save this, though, so that tank is dead. Dragoons absolutely murdering that one. DTs are in the house. And I'm not sure how well Ample is recognizing there are DTs here, because they're part of a larger army, right? Is this third base just straight up going to die? And the answer seems to be maybe. Science vessel's here, so DT, I think, just got killed by an SCV. That's embarrassing. I think he can save the command center, though. He's going to lose a lot of tanks, which that's the primary goal here for Shuttle. Killing the third base, sure, if you can. That'd be awesome. Actually, hold on. He's wiping tanks out pretty effectively. Oh, that tank didn't even get a shot off in siege mode, I don't think. SCVs are fighting as well. They're actually pretty good fighters against Dragoons. In a pinch, obviously. Another attack coming in the front door. Shuttle, man. Off of 2 bases is just picking Ample apart all of a sudden. That's, I guess, what happens when you delay your third base, is you go for a very strong 2-base attack with your Dragoons, with range, with Zealots, with DTs, and just force Ample to fall back onto his 2-base plays while you try to take a third of your own. But guess what? Spider Mine. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, CC down on fire. And exploded. Excellent, excellent job by Shuttle. I should have honestly expected that sort of thing from him. Probe snipe. Nice timing there by the vultures. Getting on in there. Can they get? No, they're not getting into the natural base. Goodbye. Literally goodbye, because you're dead now. So tank count for Ample has just been absolutely bled. It's been obliterated, right? We've got 2 siege tanks on the high ground. That's it. He's going to lose the engineering bay? Oh. He's going to want to rebuild that just for the turret purposes. We get some vultures dropped and run by into the main base. Ends up getting a couple kills before they get wiped out. Nothing too terrible. But yeah, third base coming in, and I mean, rebuilding a third base inside the main here is Ample, but this Dragoon count is heavy. The tank count is not heavy. The tank count is 3. I'm going to have to rely on good Spider-Mine placement, good Vulture play to maybe get something done here. Maybe hold off Shuttle for just a little bit. But that might have just been a mistake from Ample, right? I mean, if you know that your Protoss opponent hasn't taken a third base yet, maybe hold off at taking your third. Maybe make a few more tanks, right? Maybe solidify the defense at this ramp and this bridge rather than trying to hold 2 places at once with maybe not as many tanks as you want to have. Just a thought. I'm not a professional, but that might have been a better idea for Ample for sure. Charon boosters coming in here. We're working on additional factories. Vehicle weapon upgrades coming in with the +1 attack already complete, and the Dragoons have no upgrades yet, but they're working on the +1. Fair enough, fair enough. These observers are just, my gosh, they're so well placed. Spider-Mine actually takes down 2 Dragoons there. That's a pretty good trade. EMP gets tossed, doesn't hit the Arbiter, and takes a lot of hits in the meantime. Does not die, though, and that's the big deal. Not losing that Science Vessel is a big deal. I think he probably just scanned and took down that Observer, so that's nice. This would be a good one to get 2, and the third base one would be as well. So third base lands, again, in full view of the Observer. We've got a barracks trying to wall off this ramp a little bit, right? Trying potentially to make it harder for Dragoons to get up there, because that's what they did in the previous attack, is they just walked right up this ramp, bad pathing and all. Shuttle knows how to make them behave, you know? And this looks like an attempt, oh my gosh, 4th base. All right, so yeah, Shuttle doing the thing. He's staying a base ahead of the Terran. Yep, that Observer's down. Okay, so Shuttle's a little bit blinder than he was just a couple of minutes ago. Siege tank with +1/+1, with +2 just about to finish. That's going to be pretty big against these 0 armor. Yeah, 0 armor, 0 shield Dragoons. The tanks are going to be even deadlier. Just a second. There it is. There's your +2. Doing 30 +6 damage, not in siege mode, and 70 +10 in siege mode. 80 damage per shot is just damaging to these poor Dragoons that only have 180 HP. Plus the splash damage can hit them, and yeah, Dragoons are just not great against sieged up siege tanks. Not many ground units are. I mean, Zealots are, but then you have the Vultures to handle those, and it's the game of cat and mouse, right? 177 to 143 supply. Shuttle has a nice lead. He's going for it. If he gets this third base, I think that might just be GG. So here come the Shuttles trying to unload Zealots on top of the tanks. And, yep, they very easily get wiped out, and now the Dragoons just have to deal with the barracks. They're trying to get up here, which the SCVs are repairing to provide that extra block against these Dragoons. Additional turrets are coming up, which maybe make it harder. Yeah, it's harder for Arbiters to come in. Oh, losing that Observer, actually. A bit sloppy from Shuttle. Nice stasis on the ramp. I don't know if anybody else is getting through there. That Vulture barely did. God, it's a 6 stasis on the ramp. Reinforcements can only sit here. They're actually getting across this little gap quite nicely. Another expansion from Shuttle coming in on that left side. And this third base from Ample looks like it's going to die again. Shuttle is just kind of bullying Ample here. Looked better for him in the early game for Ample, but Shuttle is just doing Shuttle-y things. It's not even necessarily been with like Storm Drops or Reaver Drops or anything. It's just been using Shuttles for very traditional attack types, like this one. Alright, Stasis comes up on the ramp. Spider Mines trying to connect on something, but they're not. Command Center lives because it's being protected. Zealots and Dragoons trying to come into the front door, but this is actually successfully defended at this point. And the third base technically lives. How many SCVs died in that maneuver? A bunch. But there was a nice evacuation, so they're not all completely wiped out. Coming back, sort of. Coming back around. Pathing in StarCraft, man. It's just sometimes it doesn't make any sense at all. Those SCVs, though. 7 Dragoons at a time. Ooh, they've got their upgrade now, too. They got their +1 attack. Excellent stuff. +2, +1, +3 on the way from Ample. And he knows, okay, look, I might not have the tank count that I want right now, but I've got to do something. I mean, look at how little Shuttle respects Ample. This base is completely undefended. There's not even a cannon here. He's just letting this one die. Has he scanned this? Oh, but a Vulture found it. Okay, so he knows all of the bases that Shuttle has, right? So as far as being able to kind of just walk right up and massacre a base or two, not bad. Spider-Mine takes out a couple of those Zealots where the Vultures need to come in. Great stasis. Great stasis. EMP tossed down on the Arbiter, so no more stasis available on that one. This one's out of energy anyway, and actually Goliath, nice pick off there. So the stasis has happened, but Shuttle can't stick around and try to deal with these. There's too much remaining army here for Ample. Right side base does go down for the Protoss player, but still on 4 bases, thanks to this left side one that came up just a minute ago. Again, the observer placements for the ones that are still alive are just absolutely magnifique. Pour les Protoss et Shuttle. Ha ha ha. Working on Storm. Just because it's a good tool to have in every matchup. Like, honestly, it's really good against Zerg. Pretty good in PvP and pretty good against Terran. It's not bad anywhere. It does so much outright damage. Ignores armor. I mean, just everything about it is beautiful. I mean, virtually ignores armor, I guess. Anywho, siege tank count looking okay. Not unstoppable, but it is 164 to 143 supply. This, man, if these guys are going to be out, I kind of feel like a park up here, and for Ample might go extremely well. We might be a look at one of those games where the Protoss just loses his natural in main and comes out of it on top anyway, right? Or at least tries to. Look, this is a great place for these tanks. Yeah, try to get in close range of this is going to be absolutely brutal. So we're leapfrogging now from the back to the front. This is traditional tank stuff. This is how I play Terran against Protoss in the campaign. You leapfrog tanks like this. Bring some Vultures along, some Goliaths. And, yeah, it certainly looks like this is a game where Shuttle's going to lose the natural at the very least. Losing the main is not necessarily a guarantee. We've definitely seen matches that Protoss can keep the Terran at bay down here on the low ground and not lose the entire main, because it sucks to lose all of this production and all of this unit production, right? Production and tech, I guess, is the more accurate way to say it. So yeah, just tanks casually firing. Where are the Goliaths? I know there are some Goliaths here. Here they are. So that Arbiter's probably going to die. I don't see Shuttle moving it away once the Goliaths start hitting. Actually, he's just going to finish off this Nexus and keep going. He's not interested in taking down the main. He knows the tech and the production is here, but there's no income here. I kind of like this decision from Ample. He's going to try to take down the 12 o'clock now. So he's on a pretty solid Terran rampage. He's got another base coming up along this bottom left for a fourth of his. What is Shuttle going to do? Oh, he's going to recall is what he's going to do. He's going to recall right inside the main base of Ample. Maybe throw down a force or a... There it is. Throwing down the stasis on the ramp so reinforcements can't get up here. But look at them move. Look at them shifting around. That's crazy. So the 12 o'clock base for Shuttle is dead, but also Ample's main base appears to be in a heck of a lot of trouble. The stasis on the ramp is such a dirty move, but it's so genius at the same time. You just have to appreciate the thought that goes into that. This is actually turning into a pretty intense game. Ample's just going for it, right? He's like, I can't do much about this. Oh, tanks coming out of these factories and just immediately getting murderized. The stasis lasts forever. And, oh, hang on. Is he actually going to save? He saves the 12 o'clock. Ample did not leave enough there to actually take down the 12. That said, this left side base, this fourth rather, is definitely going to die. And I think maybe this top left one will too. There is a science vessel available. So the DTs that remain aren't going to do a whole lot. At least not against these vultures. The main base attack, this is one of the more successful recalls I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's Shuttle, so... how surprised are we by this? Not much surprise. Ooh, Spider-Mine's helping to defend the homeland a bit here. It looks like it's going to be cleared out. More army coming in to defend. High Templar trying to get some stuff done. If Ample can win this battle, defensive matrix is up. Storm doing some good work there as well. Okay, so you're not going to win this, Ample, but how many units can you take with you? 4 kills on that siege tank and 1 more shot. No more kills available. Doesn't get it. And a vulture up here would have been really, really good. Long distance mining happening. The fact that Shuttle hung on to this 12 o'clock base is extremely important for him, and he wiped out so much production of Ample. He's starting to float cash because he doesn't have the ability to spend it as much as he wants to. Also, this fourth base of his does get attacked, is forced to lift off and retreat towards the third base, and at 22 minutes, he is a 3-basing Terran, which is not where you want to be. The Protoss is only on 3 himself. Not ideal. 42 to 39 workers. Nobody has a huge advantage on a worker count at the moment either. But the upgrades were not canceled. +3 and +2 are done for the Terran. The Protoss is sitting at a old +2 attack with no additional upgrades coming in. That doesn't have quite as much money as the Terran does, but that's because the Terran's factory count has been reduced to 3 with 1 starport that's on fire, but not actively burning down, so it could be worse. Alright, man, so Shuttle just has the army. In a direct confrontation, I know I usually say if tanks are sieged up, Protoss can't engage, but in this situation, there's just so much Protoss. It's 150 to 150 just to 97 supply. So the Protoss not quite as happy. Oh, I was gonna say, the Vultures remember. The Vultures remember the time when they could have got up here and wiped out like 1 billion probes with no resistance whatsoever, but then there's a Dragoon on the ramp, so never mind. That plan is over. 4th base landed again here, but I think White's coming down to check it out. Spider-Mine's getting some decent hits off on these. Okay, the Zealots are clearing out the Spider-Mines with their bodies. Not something you really need to do when you have Dragoons. Ooh, with the range upgrade, and you know what? That shoved the army away and maybe kept this. He's running though anyway. He knows. He knows the army's in the general vicinity, and he just wants to keep his command center safe. Somehow a Vulture wandered up to the 12 o'clock. He has 0 kills, but he's very annoying anyway. So that's good. Alright, man. So Ample's army is back. He's back over 100 supply. He's working on +3 armor. He's got additional factories now. Got 5 total. Starport still working on them science vessels all the time. 9 Dragoons at a time in production, though, from Shuttle. He's got a better income. He's got more healthier, newer sources of minerals than the Terran player has. Oh, sniping that Shuttle was big. I think there were High Templar in there. Stasis is a little bit late. That Observer died. Again, Observers dying is a big deal. Nope. 3 HP. I take it back. 3 HP and alive is that observer. Incroyable. Yeah, you could probably go back now. Where did that command center go? Did it die? Oh, it's up here. Is he taking... Ample's taking the center. That's how desperate he is at the moment. I understand it, man. You take the center if you're super far ahead and you're feeling really confident, and you take the center if you're super far behind and you need something to take you over the top here. I see this recall. I see it. Right side. Recall obliterating. Gosh dang. Another stasis on the ramp would be good. I don't know if there's enough energy here to do it. Oh, yeah. Okay. There it is. What with a recall and all. But, yep, stasis on the ramp. Trying to use low-ground siege tanks to defend against this, but these are some incredibly effective drops. Being able to drop at a position and then stasis the main is insanely good. We see a lot of Protoss drops that fail and don't do as well. Did he just push this up? Is he pushing these stasis units off the ramp? Dude, Ample, he's employing some crazy micro trick here, or he's trying anyway. He's making the attempt, and you know what? He cleaned it out this time. He didn't lose a single factory to this. Ah, incredible. But your center base goes down because Shuttle found it because he has an observer here. 139 to 150 supply is actually Ample's ahead. Some magic way, even not being able to take the center, he's ahead. So he's rebuilding a new command center at his 4th base location, which he really hasn't been allowed to have at any stretch here today. Arbiter down, has 0 kills. Are we surprised by that? No. Arbiters have water guns for attacks. Okay, so Ample, he needs to move. He needs to either kill this 12 o'clock or he needs to kill this left side 4th base. These are his options. He can't sit here. I don't think he can sit and defend against Shuttle. Shuttle's just doing too well. I know it's even supply, which I'm surprised by, and I kind of feel like that definitely favors the Terran in that situation. Especially with the upgrades. I know it's +2 for the Protoss, and a full 3-3 for the Terran, which is just got to be terrifying. Like, Protoss fans watching this are just going to be like, wait, what? That's a huge upgrade advantage. It definitely 100% is. So the Vulture's fighting for the most part, but clearing out these Zealots is really important, because once the Zealots are gone, the Dragoons cannot abide, and the Zealots are getting obliterated quite nicely all of a sudden here. Observer killed, defensive matrix getting tossed down nicely. Ample's playing this extremely well. Was he down like 180 supply to 70 earlier? Yes, he was. Is he back now? Kind of. Where's your Zealot reinforcements? Here they are at the back. There's some High Templar here too. So getting some free hits off on this Nexus is not a good thing, but coming another way again. Shuttle does not want to engage with this army. Is he just going to take down the 3rd and maybe the 4th and maybe get the 5th at the same time? Maybe. So yeah, 4th base for Shuttle goes down for the 2nd time today. Once again, oh, there's literally nothing. Okay, there's a High Templar up here this time with enough energy for 1 storm. Ah, picking off reinforcements, Shuttle is. Shuttle, man, is he full on just base trade, base race style? He's just going for it. Shuttle really wants Ample's main base to be dead. He is incredibly committed to this bit. Spider Mines wiping out some of the Zealots, sure. High ground tanks sieging up desperately. Spider Mines on the ramp. Sure, we might lose the natural base. We don't care. The armory has all the upgrades we were ever going to want. Killing these probes, though. There we go. Ample moves up. These probes have been working for some time in an oversaturated fashion. More Zealots coming up the ramp. Spider Mines taking them out. But also dragging Spider Mines into the tanks is not great either here. This is turning into a pretty intense situation. Ample's up 115 to 74 supply. Oh, he sent some tanks to take the 12 o'clock out. Shuttle's income is nothing right now, everybody. Holy cannoli. Is Ample going to do this thing after being down about 100 supply today? So many bases have died. So much production has died here, but Shuttle's down to a handful of Dragoons in this location. Spider Mines alone should be able to handle this. Siege tank back here, just racking up the kills. Got 5 of them, is going to die, but did his work. And 1 Dragoon remains to threaten a huge line of Zealots coming in. But that's it. That is it for Shuttle. He has a huge line of Zealots. End of discussion. He can't win this. At this point, if you're worried about your production in these Zealots, you lift the factories. Oh, Spider Mines, Vultures getting produced at all the time, and that's your GG! Ample is your winner. In 29 minutes and 38 seconds, the underdog gets the win. I am shocked. Dude, I thought he had a great open, and then I thought Shuttle smacked him around a little bit and had 4 bases rolling, and Ample was just so far behind, and then those recalls into the main base that kept destroying his production and causing him problems. And sure, Ample was getting a base here and there. He killed the natural, he killed the 12 o'clock, and he killed the 4th, yeah. But man, at some point, about 5 minutes ago, he was just like, all right, we're doing this. And I don't know how. He was on 3 bases of income. His 4th base was never really rolling for any length of time. He tried to expand to the center and lost. I guess this base is up too, but again, just barely comes up. Did Shuttle make a mistake? Did Shuttle make a mistake of not trying to engage with the army more? We never really saw a lot of direct engagements where Shuttle defended a corner of the map by attacking into it with the Zealots and the Dragoons and the Storm and stuff. I guess that last engagement was the attempt from Shuttle to keep this army from getting up into this area, which was game over, right? But it just wasn't enough. The Zealots, there were so many Vultures to handle the Zealots, and then once they were gone, the tanks were just too much for the Dragoons to handle. Absolutely amazing. And sure, the recalls did more damage than you usually see. I mean, that first recall where he stasis the ramp and killed, 3 or 4 factories, all these supply depots, almost took down this starport. I mean, that was brutal. That seemed to last for about 10 minutes of the match. But Ample recovered. He rebuilt. He restored his production capabilities. He moved out when he needed to, and he went on the game-ending rampage when he needed to. That was it. Came up this left side, won the decisive encounter, came around, killed the 4th, killed the 5th, and then snuck off a couple tanks to kill the 12 o'clock 3rd as well. Just, man, Ample's a great player. We've seen some games from him where he's not super impressive, but also he's beat Queen. He's beat Shuttle now. Does that just put you... That puts you among the elite of the elite. If as a Terran player, you can take those 2 guys down. I think you're doing fine. So Ample... More games from Ample, I guess. We'll get some more of those out there for you Terran fans. 214,000 points for Ample, 190 for Shuttle. 485 units produced for the Terran, 348 for the Protoss. Kill death ratio pretty close, losing pretty even there too. If you outproduce by 140 and you lose fewer units than your opponent did, you're having a good day. Wow. Buildings raised pretty even, and then resources are the important one. Sure, more resources here from the Protoss, 7,000 more resources spent than Terran, but it's not enough. You need to be closer to 10, 11, 12,000 resources spent in order to take him down. Just too many bases died, too many probes died for Shuttle to really have good numbers that way. And at the end of the day, that's our guy. That's Ample takes him out. Just insane. Insanely good play. I am shocked by this outcome. I don't know if you are, but I'm 100% shocked by this outcome. So GG Ample, and that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.